What's up, guys? Happy Halloween, and of course, welcome back to a brand new Fortnite video here on my channel. Now, because it is Halloween, I thought we'd go ahead and take a look at the top 10 scariest skins here in Fortnite. Now, Fortnite is home to a ton of skins, some of them more creepy than others. Now, I know some of you guys may be thinking, how could a Fortnite skin be scary? Well, if you guys take a closer look at some of these skins, some of them are pretty terrifying. So to go ahead and get started with today's video, the very first scary Fortnite skin here on our list is a fairly new skin. This is the Sanctum. As you guys can see, the Sanctum is a very unique looking skin, and he definitely has a very terrifying look to him. Now, the Sanctum represents a vampire, and it came to the item shop last week, and you guys could have purchased it for 1,500 V-Bucks. Now, as I'm sure a lot of you guys already know, the Sanctum is basically the male version of the Dusk. The Dusk is a female vampire, and this skin could be acquired throughout the Season 6 Battle Pass. Regardless, I find the Sanctum to be a pretty creepy skin, and I just feel like this skin is always lurking around haunted hills or even in the castle on top of the hill. So, moving on to another pretty terrifying skin here in Fortnite. This one is also fairly new. This is the Scourge. As you guys can see, the Scourge has a pretty terrifying mask on, and she's supposed to represent a plague doctor. Now, for those of you who may not be aware of what a plague doctor was or is, a plague doctor was a medical physician who treated victims of the bubonic plague. Now, the bubonic plague, also known as Black Death, was one of the most deadly and devastating pandemics in human history, resulting in an estimated 75 to 200 million people dying in Europe. So, the look of the skin itself, alongside the backstory that comes with the Scourge or the Plague Doctor, is definitely terrifying, and because of that, I definitely think that the Scourge is a pretty creepy skin here in Fortnite. Moving on to another pretty creepy skin, very similar to our two previous skins. This is another fairly new one. Here we have Heyman. As you guys can see, the Heyman is obviously a Scarecrow. It's got piercing, glowing red eyes, and it definitely makes for a pretty frightening character. Now, I don't know about you guys, but whenever I see someone rocking this skin, I'm always a little bit terrified of them, just because oftentimes they tend to be a pretty decent player, and of course, this skin itself is absolutely frightening. On top of that, there is actually a female version of the Heyman. However, I just wanted to include one of the two versions of this skin in today's video. Not only that, as I'm sure a lot of you guys are already aware of, around the entire Fortnite map, Epic Games have actually put Scarecrows in various places, whether that's down by Fatal Fields or on top of some of the sniper towers, and this is something that's been in the game for a pretty long time. So the fact that we now have a Scarecrow skin that represents some of the other Scarecrow props that we already have in Fortnite, you guys could actually be pretty scared of the props in the game, because you may not know whether or not a prop is actually a person in the Heyman skin. Regardless, I definitely think that the Heyman is a pretty creepy skin, and that's why I've included it in today's video. So, moving on to our next scary skin here in Fortnite. This one is actually a pretty old skin, and honestly, I could only assume that in about a month and a half or so, Epic Games is probably going to bring this skin back to the item shop, as this is actually a Christmas-themed skin. Here we have the Ginger Gunner. I don't know what it is about this skin, but there's something about it that I personally find to be pretty terrifying. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that this character is wearing a mask with a painted on smiley face, or maybe even this character looks so cute and so colorful, but it could kill you in a hot second. Continuing on to another pretty scary skin here in Fortnite. This one is also a fairly recent one, as it came to the item shop just a couple of weeks ago. This is the Hollowhead. I don't know about you guys, but I actually think that the Hollowhead is a pretty awesome looking skin. I absolutely love the way that the blue flames or the blue glow come out of the eyes and the mouth of the jack-o'-lantern on top of the Hollowhead's head. Overall, whenever I think of Halloween, creepy jack-o'-lanterns always come to my mind, and the fact that we actually have a skin that looks like a scary, terrifying jack-o'-lantern rocking some pretty awesome clothes definitely deserves to be in today's video as one of the scariest skins here in Fortnite. So, continuing on to another pretty scary skin here in Fortnite. This one, I think, is a skin a lot of people at first may be a bit confused why I've included it in today's video, but I think a lot of people could actually agree that this is actually a very terrifying skin. Now, this skin is pretty old, as it came to the game, I believe, back in April of 2018. However, it hasn't actually seen the item shop in recent times. This is the Rabbit Raider. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely think that the Rabbit Raider is one of the top 3 creepiest or scariest skins here in Fortnite. Now, I definitely think that what makes this skin so scary is obviously the hockey mask that this character is wearing. I don't know what it is, but when you go ahead and pair this creepy hockey mask with the buck bunny tooth teeth alongside this bright pink and cuddly onesie, something about it just counteracts one another, and it definitely makes for an all-around pretty scary skin. So, moving on to another very scary skin here in Fortnite. This is actually a fairly recent skin, as it came to the item shop just a couple of weeks ago. And if I'm not mistaken, while I make this video right now, I believe that this skin is actually currently in the item shop, and you guys can purchase it right now. This is the Peekaboo. As you guys can see, the Peekaboo is an absolutely terrifying looking character. As I'm sure a lot of you guys already know, the Peekaboo actually has 2 variants or editable styles of this character. The first which being a clown without any sort of additional mask added onto this skin, whereas the second variant or editable style of the Peekaboo actually includes a pretty crazy looking clown mask. Now, I'm sure there are some people watching this video that are actually very scared of clowns, because if I'm not mistaken, I believe that a fear towards clowns is a pretty common phobia, at least here in the United States. And when I was younger, or when I was a child, I actually used to be pretty terrified of clowns. As I've gotten a little bit older, clowns don't scare me all that much, but I could honestly say I'm assuming that a lot of people watching this video are honestly pretty terrified of clowns in general, and definitely the Peekaboo skin. Now, regardless of which editable style or variant of the Peekaboo you guys decide to choose, whether or not this character is wearing the crazy clown mask, it is an all-around pretty terrifying looking character. Now, as I'm sure a lot of you guys already know, there is actually a male version of the Peekaboo being the Night Knight, and it basically looks the exact same as the Peekaboo character. It just has a male figure and a male stature. However, I wanted to include the Peekaboo or the female clown in today's video over the male clown, because I just feel like there's something more terrifying about a creepy female clown compared to a creepy male clown. So, moving on to another very creepy skin here in Fortnite. This is a pretty old skin, as it came to the game, I believe, back in March of 2018. This is the Raven. Now, a lot of people may disagree with me on including this skin in today's video, but I honestly wanted to include it just because I feel like this was sort of the second or third ever scary skin that we ever received here in Fortnite, maybe even the 4th, just because I feel like the components of the Raven are honestly pretty scary. You've got the glowing purple eyes piercing out from the black hood or the darkness in the face. We honestly have no idea what the Raven looks like, just because you actually cannot see the face of this character. Just the entire outfit that the Raven is wearing, I personally find to be pretty creepy, and that's why I've included it in today's video. So, continuing on to our 9th scariest skin here in Fortnite. This is a skin I'm hoping a lot of you guys could agree with me on including it in today's video, as I do think a lot of people actually find this skin to be pretty scary. This is the Cuddle Team Leader. Now, I know what some of you guys may be thinking, why the heck would the Cuddle Team Leader be included in this list? It is a cute and cuddly looking skin. That is exactly why. The Cuddle Team Leader, even though it looks cute and it looks cuddly, is honestly just a facade for this skin to absolutely murder you. Now, whenever I think of the Cuddle Team Leader, honestly, all I could think about is this Cuddle Team Leader wallpaper. There is something about this wallpaper that I personally find it to be super creepy, and because of that, I've decided to include the Cuddle Team Leader in today's video. Moving on to the 10th and final scariest skin here in Fortnite Battle Royale. This is a pretty old skin, as it came to the game back in December of 2017. This is the Crackshot. Now, personally, I find the Crackshot to be within the top 3 scariest skins here in Fortnite because just take a look at the Crackshot's face. The facial features, the painted on face of this character looks so creepy, it looks so terrifying, and that's why, in my personal opinion, I definitely think the Crackshot deserves to be at the #1 spot in today's video. So guys, there you have it, the top 10 scariest skins here in Fortnite. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys agree with my list. Are there any skins you guys think do not deserve to be on this list, or are there any skins that you guys think do deserve to be on this list? Let me know in the comment section below, and while you guys are at it, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. With all of that out of the way, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be sure to catch you guys later.